Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and we have a fan request today, the muscle switch up, change up fan request. You guys remember I put Mike Matarazzo's arms on Regan Grimes' body, and I said the first one that guesses whose arms they are gets the request played. This guy here, Kevin Kane, Canada, he was the first one that guessed, and I'm gonna do the same thing in this video too. I'm gonna switch up a body part with somebody. And you cannot edit it. You cannot edit it because that's cheating. Put the name. If you just spelled it wrong, do not edit it, or I will not honor it. Kai Greene, guys, he is huge here, but I don't know. That midsection, he's much bigger than Phil, but that midsection is, I'm drawn to that. Phil Heath has a good, solid six-pack here for sure. Other than that, I think Kai's monstrosity. Those arms are so huge. Are they dominant? No. Phil's got awesome complete forearms. Very underrated arms does Phil Heath have. And I know that, so, it's not a dominant victory here for Kai Greene like sometimes a lot of you guys would think. And some versions of Kai Greene versus Phil Heath, I would give him the front double. The wheels are huge too for Kai. One of the few guys that did match wheel for wheel with the doctor, or the gift Phil Heath. Now, don't get me wrong. If Kai Greene, now you guys ready? If Kai Greene were to have a absolutely dominant midsection, wow. It's a fairly easy one, guys. First one that guesses this midsection, you should already be in the comment section as soon as you've seen it switch over. You gotta be quick. And I gotta say, this midsection here, maybe one of the best in bodybuilding history, and that is not speaking loose. Let's go to the front lat spread, and I would wager to say, most of the time, Phil Heath loses to Kai Greene in this shot, depending on the versions, of course. 2011, pretty darn good. It's just Phil's one weakness, his narrow clavicle, gets drawn out in a shot like this, with no lack of lats. I mean, look at the size of the doctor's lats, or the gift, if you want to call him the gift. Very three-dimensional, Dorian-esque, if you will. But Kai Greene, probably on another level, as far as that's concerned. And the conditioning looks pretty tight here. Phil still a lot more muscle separation in those abs, and it's usually not the case. I mean, Kai usually pretty cut up in the abs, even in the front double, but I mean, the shiru, he just exploded in size. And from the front, a little bit weak in the midsection, I have to say. But still defeating Phil. From the side, now, this is interesting. Usually, for those massive versions of Kai Greene, you see a big, thick, distended midsection here. From the side. But here at the shiru, from the front, a little bit washed out. But he was not bloated, or I guess you could say, for the lack of a better term. Looks pretty darn good. And I do like Phil's side chest development. And sizing these guys, it's a difficult venture. Kai actually stands taller than Phil in the side chest. He almost dwarfs him from the side shots. He's just so thick, so huge, so muscular. I like Phil's side chest, but I don't know. I think Kai has his number. Kai could actually sneak in a win in this one, guys, depending on what they look like from behind. Now, Kai does look better here. His lats are huge. They're huge. And the arms, bicep peaks, this is mountains versus molehills, guys. Look at that. That's incredible. Wheel size, like I mentioned earlier, not too many people, but Kai Greene definitely is able to dwarf Phil Heath in the wheels. Is Kai Greene as conditioned as Phil Heath? I'd have to say no. I'd have to say Phil Heath is a little drier. He's a little more conditioned. So at the end of the day, is that going to make the difference? Sure, Phil. Next to anybody else's lats are lower. But next to Kai Greene, he does not look anywhere near as gifted in that aspect. Incredible. But like I said, the conditioning edge may be a deciding factor for me at the end of the day. Go to the rear lat spread. Kai Greene is a monster. Literally. And he has that big, huge, massive hamstring. Looks like a big, giant raisin. smushed raisin. You see that? The back of his hamstring. Incredible. Incredible. But is he as dry as Phil Heath? No. I would have to say no. Just a freak factor as far as those lats are concerned. And Phil, little narrow, but he has a lot of substance in those traps, things of that nature. Actually, let's have another a side by each here of Kai and Phil at the Sheru. Now, you see this, guys? Kai Greene was monstrous. Monstrous. But you can clearly see, I don't know. I think Phil is in better condition, a little tighter. But, I mean, how far can you go? I mean, that mass of Kai, he was huge here. Sheru Classic, 2011. Massive, massive. But, I mean, the traps for Phil, is that enough, though? I think Kai's twice as wide. Very impressive, very impressive. Conditioning will make a deciding factor, I am sure. Go to the next pose, which is, oddly enough, we're doing it in order today. I'm going to check with my secretary, see what's going on here. Yeah, see? Somebody did the old switcherella. See? Some screw. And this is a no-brainer to me. This is a terrible picture, first of all. I apologize for even using this for Kai Greene. But this is what you have, this is what you get to work with. But I think it's a saving grace. There's a few shots like that front lat spread. Kai's always going to get the win. But in my opinion, as long as Phil, he doesn't, poop the bed as far as his versions are concerned, I think he usually gets this one. And even when he does chateau the bed, I think he still looks pretty darn good in all of his versions in this pose. Abs and thigh. Now, this is generally a Kai Greene pose. Generally. Here in 2011, Phil holds his own with pretty much anybody. He has a Sean Ray-esque quality. Sean Ray, I'm not going to... Shouldn't even have mentioned his name. Shouldn't even have mentioned it. I suppose there's no thumbs downs anymore. But go ahead and hit it anyway. No, don't. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, if you hit a thumbs up, you will get good luck for a day. But you have to believe in magic. And never mind. Kai Greene, monster, freak factor, abs, very separated here. Usually a little bit more, though, in other versions. The quad, blasting Phil Heath out of the whatever. And Phil Heath always, in my opinion, finishes strong against Kai Greene in the most muscular. Kai has some feathered quads, some of the best, most complete legs, bodybuilding history. Tom Platz-like feathering. But he goes so narrow in this shot. And it's funny. Clavicle width, Phil Heath so narrow, but in this shot, he opens up more. Those delts are popping. And Kai Greene, somehow, I don't know. And you can't really say I sized it incorrectly. Let me look at the size of Kai's head, for goodness sakes. And it's even worse in the crab position, so we're not going to even indulge that. Phil Heath finishing strong is a strong case for him winning this one. Now, was Kai Greene's mass, was it enough to get the victory? I would have to say no. I was giving Phil wins this one. I was giving Phil that front double. It was close in the ones that Phil was losing in. I mean, he was looking pretty darn good in that front lat and the abs and thigh. He was losing the side chest, what the heck. But I think, like I said earlier, that overall conditioning may have got him an edge in maybe perhaps both back shots. It is debatable, guys, how much emphasis you place on conditioning. At the end of the day, Kai Greene's back was looking pretty darn thick. Very impressive. But Phil Heath 2011, we can't go wrong with that. Maybe the best of all time. Could be. Kai could be up there as well. 4th, 5th, 6th best of all time. Tongue twister and a half. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys. Don't forget to see whose abs those belong to. Very impressive, guys. Have a fantastic day.